Consider how the pawn can be captured. Unlike what we have seen for rook, bishop, queen, and king, regarding capturing, the pawn can only capture sideways. Like the bishop can move diagonally to any number of squares, but the pawn can move to only one square while capturing. So this is how the pawn can capture. So this is the actual concept of how a pawn can be utilized. There is also a special power for the pawn. This is the most important and special, one of the great powers for pawn. Now let's see. Consider the pawn. Now it gets captured. The pawn moves, can be captured. The pawn moves and it moves. Now the pawn can go only forward. The pawn cannot come backwards. So think what will happen if the pawn moves to the last rank. So the pawn, if at all, if it reaches to the furthest rank from the starting position. So this second rank is the starting position of where the pawn should be in the beginning. Once, if at all, if I had reached a last rank from the starting position, it can be promoted to a queen, rook, bishop, or a knight. So this is called pawn promotion. So it's a general promotion like getting promoted from class 1 to class 2 or grade 1 to grade 2 in our education system. So this is called pawn promotion, promoting the pawn to a higher place. The pawn cannot be promoted to a king because in a kingdom there needs to be only one king. In Tamil, there's a proverb called ஒரு கத்தி தான் இருக்க முடியும். Like there can't be two persons in a home who can take decisions. Likewise, there can be only one captain in a ship. There can't be two persons, which will lead to a confusion. So that is how it is called in Tamil. It is called ஒரு வரையில ஒரு கத்தி தான் இருக்கணும். This is how it is called. Okay. So coming back to our pawn, the pawn can be promoted to a queen, rook, bishop, or knight, but it cannot be converted to a king. So now it is converted to a queen. That's it. So this is how the pawn works.